How many people in this classroom has driven a car? That's right, I only saw 2 hands go up. Today, many of you are going to learn the basics of how to start and drive a car. As excited as you are to drive a car, remember, safety is always your first priority. Before you get in the car, you want to make sure you're ready to drive. If you're distracted, upset, or unusually tired, do not drive. This includes medications. Now that you're mentally prepared to drive, you want to clean your car of any ice or snow, especially in the winter. You take an ice scraper, and if there's ice or snow in the car, you're just going to scrape it off. Now that your car appears safe to drive, you want to check your car over mechanically. So first, you want to check if the headlights are working. So you see how they're working. Then you want to go to the back of the car and check if the taillights are working. And then next, you want to check if the brake lights are working. So I'm going to get in the car and press the brake. And you see how the lights are red. Right. After everything on the outside seems to be working, you want to get in your car and put on your seatbelt first. Let's get in the car. When you get in the car, you do not want to start immediately. First thing you have to do is put on your seatbelt. The first thing you want to do is adjust your seat so you can reach the gas pedal and the brake pedal. As a new driver, you want to familiarize yourself with the foot pedals. In this car, there are 2 foot pedals that control the acceleration and braking. The rightmost pedal, which is usually the smaller one, is the acceleration pedal, which means that it is when you press it down, it will speed the car up. The pedal to the left, which is usually the larger one, is the brake pedal, and pressing down on it will slow the car down. Even if you're left foot dominant, you will always use your right foot to reach both pedals. It will feel weird at first if you're left-footed, but getting used to it is important, because it's proper technique and it is ultimately safer. Never use both feet at once to reach the pedals. Only use your right foot, to access each pedal. This will make it impossible to accidentally press down on both pedals at the same time. Next, you want to adjust your car mirrors so you can see through them clearly and effectively. Your car should have 3 mirrors. 1 rear view mirror, which allows you to see directly behind the rear windshield and behind you, and 2 outside mirrors, which will let you see on either side and protect you from your blind spots. Your rear view mirror should be positioned so that when you're in normal driving position, you can see directly behind you as much of the rear windshield as possible. The parking brake is a long lever with a button on its very tip. When the parking brake is pulled up, it helps lock the car in place, ensuring that it doesn't move. When the brake is let down, it disengages and the car can freely move. Make sure your parking brake is disengaged before you start driving. Now you want to take the key and insert it into the ignition. Learn how to back your car out. If your car is parked in a lot or a driveway, like my car right now, chances are you're going to need to back out your car in order to begin driving. Put your car in reverse and double check. If your car isn't in reverse, your car won't go backwards. Look over your shoulder and turn your head to get a good view of where you're going. Gently remove your foot off the brake and do not put your foot on the acceleration. Use your brake whenever you need to slow down. Press your foot gently but firmly on the brake pedal to slow the car down. I'm putting it in reverse. My foot is on the brake. I slowly reverse out, making sure there are no cars coming. My foot isn't on the acceleration though. Now you're going to turn. And then after you get into reverse, make sure you put your car on drive. 2 hands on the wheel. And we're going to go forward. Imagine that the steering wheel is a clock. It is very important you know where to put your hands. You want to take your right hand and pretend it's a 3 o'clock position, and you take your left hand and put it at a 9 o'clock position. Now it's time to start driving. You want to make sure your hands are on the wheel at the 3 and the 9 position. Do never use one hand, especially for beginners. Now we're approaching a stop sign. As you know, it means to stop. There's usually a white line in front of the stop sign. You want to stop at the white line, do not cross it. Now you want to come up a little and look both ways. As you know there's no cars coming, turn on your right signal and turn right, hand over hand. Now the speed limit on this road is 35, so you want to follow the speed limit. Make sure you don't go over. Alright, now we're going to make a left turn. First put on your left turn signal. Come to a stop and make sure there's no cars coming from the other side. When you see there are no cars, hand over hand and turn. Once again, the speed limit changes and it's 10 miles. Make sure you don't go over 10. As you see, there's many cars on the right, so you want to just keep your distance and be smart. Now that we're done driving, it's ready to park. Make sure you have your parking spot located, and then you want to turn your right signal on. Then you hand over hand, and make sure you don't hit any cars. Now, just turn off the car. First, you want to take your right hand and put it in the park location. After it's parked, you want to take your right hand again and take the key out. Push in, turn it to the left. Now that most of you guys are familiarized with driving, you're going to get your learning permit soon, and I hope I taught you how to drive and how to start a car.